Hi, my name is Aya. You're watching Aya Reads, and I'm here to talk about my most anticipated releases for the month of May. So May has significantly less new releases coming out that I'm excited about than April did, which is good because I know June has some big new releases that I'm looking forward to, and sometimes I need to spare my wallet. So there are 13 books that I'm going to talk about. Since there's only like 2 sequels and both of them I believe are like really standalone romances in a particular series, I'm not gonna make a distinction between sequels and standalones or first books in series. Let's get started. This is gonna be in order of publication date. The first book is actually one that I am not that excited about, and I honestly don't think I'm gonna read it unless it gets some very high ratings, and also if I know for sure that there's not going to be any cheating involved. This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. So I've only read one Carly Fortune in the past, and it was the release before this one. I read it for the Goodreads Choice Award, Meet Me at the Lake, and it wasn't my favorite. So the only way I'm going to read this is either, like I said, if it gets some really great reviews or it's part of the Goodreads Choice Awards. Anyway, moving on. But some of you might be interested in it, so let's talk about it. This one comes out on May 7th. Okay, so this is about a girl who has this one amazing night with this guy, but the next morning she realizes that he's actually her best friend's younger brother. So each year they go to this vacation beach house, and every year she cannot stay away from him. And then one day her best friend flees a week before her wedding, and now Lucy follows her to this beach, like to this island again, and she wants to be there for her friend, but of course the guy that she cannot stay away from is there as well, and it's their romance. So far the synopsis is not really that intriguing for me, but yeah, these videos are just not only for me, so I think some of you might be interested in this book, so that's why it's here. Moving on to You Should Be So Lucky by Cat Sebastian, and this also comes out on May 7th, and this is a sequel to We Could Be So Good, or like it's set in the same universe as We Could Be So Good, and I read that one for my diverse romances of 2023, which I'll leave that linked for you, and I really enjoyed that one. I believe this is a reporter baseball romance from the cover, so say less. That is everything that I love. So I believe we met one of these characters in We Could Be So Good, but this takes place in the 1960s, and this baseball player named Eddie, he has not been having that great of a season, and his manager wants him to have several interviews with this reporter, and Mark Bailey is said reporter, and I believe we met him in We Could Be So Good, but he usually writes for the arts page, but he gets this assignment, and I believe while they're interviewing, they fall in love. This sounds really cute, and like I said, I have read another book by her that I really enjoyed. This does say it's slow burn, which that other book, We Could Be So Good, was also very slow burn. We'll see, but the cover is really cute, and I have enjoyed books by her in the past. Another book that comes out on May 7th is Love, Lies, and Cherry Pie by Jackie Lau. So this sounds very cute. So this is about this woman whose mother wants her to get married, and she keeps talking about this Mark Chan guy, and she is just sick of her mother's meddling. And she doesn't really like Mark, but since she wants her mom off her back, she asks him if he wants to fake date her. So he reluctantly agrees, but then her family keeps showing up at their fake date, so they like have to make it convincing. I don't know, it sounds cute. I like these stories where mothers are meddling. And the cover is very cute as well. There's a cat on there, so hopefully one of the characters has a cat. On May 9th, Boarded Hearts by Ruth Stilling comes out. I already am really in love with this cover. It's such a cute cover. So this is about this famous hockey player who pretty much everybody knows him, but then one day he runs across this British girl who has no idea who he is, and he wants her, and she kind of doesn't want anything to do with him. Even though everything pretty much comes easy for him, she doesn't. So yeah, it sounds cute. Like I said, I'm mainly attracted to this cover. I love the pink. It's so cute. So very interested to read this one. Next is the second book in the Campus Diaries by Elle Kennedy. This one comes out on May 14th, and it's called The Dixon Rule. So this is another fake dating romance. You follow Diana Dixon and Shane Lindley. He is this new hotshot hockey player, and she's a cheer captain, I think so, or she's a cheerleader. So he moves into their apartment building, and he sleeps his way through the cheer squad. And both of their exes are back in the picture, and they're trying to reconnect with them. So they don't want to reconnect with their exes, so they decide to fake date. It sounds cute. I've heard great things about the first book, The Graham Effect, which I've not read yet because I really want to read the Off-Campus series first. So The Dixon Rule is also a book that I'll probably not be getting to for a while, but it's a very popular release and I really do like Elle Kennedy, so I will get to this, just not in May probably. Another book that comes out on May 14th is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. So this is actually an interesting take on the marriage of convenience. So you follow Anna and Liam. They were dating in college and then they actually got married because they needed subsidized family housing, but they haven't seen each other in a while, and even though they're still married, they're fine with that and not having any contact. And his family is very rich. He's heir of a grocery store chain, but he really doesn't want anything to do with that. But his grandfather left him a $100 million inheritance, and in order to claim that inheritance, he has to be married for 5 years. But his parents or his family are pressuring him into letting them meet this wife of his that he's been married to for almost 5 years. So even though he's reluctant, he does ask her to come to his family's house, but he's worried. She's like the opposite of what his buttoned up family is. They're very prim and proper, and she's a artist and like a paint splattered artist probably. Yeah, I believe this is a second chance romance. It sounds fun. I have enjoyed Christina Lauren's books in the past before. They're not one of my favorite authors, but this does sound fun. On May 14th, Love at First Book by Jen McKinley comes out. So you follow this librarian who lives on Martha's Vineyard, but one of her favorite authors of all time is Irish, and she gets in touch with her. The author offers her a job in Ireland, so she goes, and there she falls in love with the author's son. So the author wants her to help her finish the last book in her series, but her son wants her to take some rest because her health is declining. So they're kind of at odds with what they want to do, or what they want his mom to do. It sounds cute. It does sound a little bit unbelievable that this author would ask her to help with the last book in the series, but I don't know how they come in contact, obviously. Hopefully that is well explained. Another cat in this book, so this sounds cute. The Honey Witch by Sydney Shields also comes out on May 14th, and it does say it's fantasy and romance, but we'll see. This is a female-female romance about this honey witch who is cursed to never find true love, and she meets this girl who's a grumpy skeptic, and Marigold, the honey witch, wants to show her magic and wants to prove to her that magic is real, and while doing that, they fall in love. I'm mainly interested in this book because of this beautiful, beautiful cover. This is a debut novel, so hopefully it's as beautiful as this cover. So far, the reviews are a little bit mixed, but we'll see once it actually comes out. On May 16th, Catherine Cowles' new series starts. So Catherine Cowles is pretty popular here on BookTube and on Bookstagram. So I've never read a series by her. She is a prolific author that pumps out these series, which obviously is good, but it gets overwhelming to jump into a series like that because within 6 months, you're already 3 books behind. So hopefully this is a series that I can jump into. So it's called Fragile Sanctuary. It's the first book in her Sparrow Fall series. This is a Grump Sunshine brother's best friend romance. He's everything that she's not, grumpy, rude, and more than a little attached to his solitude. But he is a contractor working on her house. And like I said, so she's trying everything in her power to loosen him up a little bit. And he doesn't until he sees her shatter. So her world comes crumbling down. This is a romantic suspense. This cover is gorgeous. And I think I'm going to just start this series and then keep up with it. And then maybe after this series, I'll go back and read her backlist. Although I did say I wanted to do that with Laura Pavlov's new series. And already she has 2 books out so far and I have not read either of them. So we'll see. Favorite by Tara DeWitt, which comes out on May 21st. Another beautiful, beautiful cover. So this is a small town romance about this woman whose longtime boyfriend left her and then got engaged. She wants the town to stop pitying her. So she thinks if she just wins things at this annual festival, people will stop pitying her. But she needs a partner for this festival. So enter Fisher, who was a hotshot chef in New York City, but then his sister died and he was left to take care of his niece. She's a little bit older, his niece. teenage niece. Since he lost his love for cooking, his boss sends him to this small town because there's a new restaurant opening there. They have this searing kiss together, and then they decide to, I believe they're gonna fake date. He didn't make the best impression on the town when he first got there, so she will improve his image in the town and he'll help her in this festival competition thing. This sounds cute. I have heard amazing things about Tara DeWitt. I have not read a book by her yet, so maybe this will be my first. And I really, like I said, I love the cover. I love the combination of pink and purple in this cover. Next is The Problem with Players by Brittany Cherry. So this is the second book in her Problems series, and this is a baseball romance. And this, I believe, is her first sports romance. I've only read one Brittany Cherry book, but I read it this year and I really, really loved it. It was a book I also read for my Diverse Romances vlog. So this is actually a romance between a female coach and the assistant coach, but he's also her ex. And I like that. Usually, obviously, sports romances are at least one of them is currently playing the sport, whereas her ex is an ex-baseball star. I like that. Usually, obviously, with sports romances, that is usually you can only play professionally for a short while, usually a decade, if you're lucky, a little bit more than that, but there's a long life after. So I do like that in this book, they're both coaches, because obviously that is also part of the sport, obviously. So I like that we're getting to see another side of the sport. Ooh. This is also a roommate romance, which, say less, that is one of my favorite tropes, because something happens where she needs a new place to stay and he offers his spare bedroom. Yes! Okay, next, on May 24th, I Accidentally Summoned a Demon Boyfriend comes out. So she's sick and tired of being the only single friend in her friend group, so she decides to use this book to summon a boyfriend, but instead she summons a demon. The synopsis doesn't say a whole lot, so that is basically it. But I am interested in this book. I know there's a popular series where I Accidentally Whatever by Kimberly Lemming. So I heard from a lot of people that that book is very, very funny. So hopefully this book is funny as well. She has written a ton of other books. I haven't heard of them before, but this one sounds very fun. And last but not least is Riding the Sugar High by Letizia Lorini. So this also comes out on May 24th, and this is part of her Love and Other Recipes series. So especially desserts for stressed people, but also the wedding menu has been recommended over and over again on Instagram, mostly. Okay, so this doesn't have a blurb, so I cannot really tell you a whole lot about it. I'm not sure if it comes out on May 24th, because the Goodreads synopsis says release date spring 2024, but full blurb to follow, so I have no idea. But the tropes are roommate to lovers, curvy female main character, biker main male character, and grumpy sunshine. And I believe this series follows different sort of people in the cooking industry. So this sounds fun. I heard great things about the first two, so hopefully this one. And the first two have some pretty high ratings, so hopefully I'll like that. I do love this cover too. I love that she's curvy and they're very cute together. So those are the books that are coming out in May. Since I filmed these videos pretty early in the month, I tend to miss some indie books that are being published in May. So definitely leave those in the comments below if you know of any. And if I find some that I find about through Instagram or something like that, I will leave those in the description too. So definitely check the description when you're watching this to see if there are maybe other books that I'm interested in that are coming out in May. I would really love to know what is the book that you're looking forward to most that is coming out in May. For me, it's probably Fragile Sanctuary. I'm really interested in that, and Savor It. I think, and also Problem with Players. I think those three are the ones that I'm looking forward to most. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know by leaving a like if you did, and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.